Hello and welcome! Morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Today's the day, ladies and gentlemen. Inside Star Citizen, inside the Merchant Man. I've been waiting for this since I heard about it 2 days ago. Well, I just reacted to the last week's Inside Star Citizen 2 days ago, so I knew it was coming. But I have it here. It literally just came out about 30 seconds ago, so I haven't seen it yet. We're going to watch it here together. I just finished recording a video for tomorrow, so make sure you watch that. It's about space trucking. We went over a few updates with cargo refactor and stuff like that from the devs that Lord, Watchdog, and Vert had sent me, and we looked into some videos and looked into all the information. It's really cool. I also announced a couple video series that I'm going to be doing. Series that we're going to be doing starting this week, starting Saturday. Maybe, well, you'll see. You'll see. It's in tomorrow's video. All right. Anyway, Inside Star Citizen, the Merchant Man. I can't wait any longer. We're just going to jump into this right now. Right off the bat, we're going in. For those of you who are new to the channel, I love trading. I've been waiting. I own the Merchant Man. I'm waiting for it, obviously. I don't want them to rush it. It's one of those ships where I don't want it to come out and just be a hull of a ship and can't do much with it. So take your time, Star Citizen. Anyway, let's watch this together. Inside Star Citizen, inside the Merchant Man. It's 22 minutes long. I'm so excited.
I think my favorite alien species in Star Citizen, if I had to pick one, if I had to, I love them all. Yeah, I have a deep fondness for the Banu.
Like the visual architecture.
They just seem like kind of cool critical thinkers.
The Xi'an I'm closest to mentally, meaning I know more about them than all of the others.
I don't know enough about the
They're
lore.
like the
I'd have to look
chill,
into
relaxed
it.
ones.
Even though they're so friendly, they look like they can pack a punch, you know?
So far, the ones that have piqued my interest is the round one.
They're the predators of the space in our universe.
And they look really kind of fierce and ferocious.
You know, when you encounter them, you know you're in a lot of trouble.
Dude, that
But they're
hair is
alien
insane.
race. Probably the Vandal. There's no alien ship better than the Talon.
Isn't the Talon Tavaran?
It is Tavaran, yeah, but the Tavarans themselves I'm not keen on. That ship. But yeah, the Vandal, they just tick all the right boxes for me.
Alien Week is here, and with it, our annual...
There he is with his hard hat. I'm telling you, if I throw a ping pong ball at this hat, it's going to shatter. This thing does not look safe, Jared. I'm just saying.
celebration of Xi'an, Banu, Tavaran, and even the dreaded Vandal.
It's Alien Week for those of you who don't know what's coming up, so there you go.
And if you haven't already, check out the various contests.
By the way, the Banu Merchant Man right now is $600 to buy with real money in the store. It's gone up like double.
And activities happening across social on the robertspaceindustries.com website. But for us here at ISC, we thought we'd take this week to dedicate entirely to exploring the current status of the highly anticipated Banu Merchantman. Now, warning, much of it is still in gray box or early white box phase.
It's fine.
Still, there's a lot to explore of its mysterious
22
interior.
minutes
Let's
worth,
find
baby.
out more.
22 minutes. What are we going to get here?
I think when tackling a ship that's got...
Look at that beauty. I don't want to pause this too much because it's a long video, but look at that.
so many unknowns about it. It's a completely new art style, or it's not something that a lot of the team kind of worked on before.
It's
We
so
kind of need to make
sick.
sure that we're approaching it in the most sensible way we can.
Not only does it look incredible, it's a trading ship. It's literally a marketplace.
All right, so some old thunder. We are jumping in with our devs. We have got vehicle art director, Mr. Ben Curtis.
Hello.
Hello, Ben.
Hello.
And senior vehicle designer, Mark Gibson.
What's up, Mark?
And we are going to be showing the very real, very current progress of the Banu Merchantman. Before we get into it, let's talk a little bit about where we are.
I'm ready.
In that process. Ben, we know the Banu Merchantman has been in development for a while, then it's not in development. Set this up for us. Where are we at overall in its development?
The exterior is going through its grey box pass. So it's looking a little bit more advanced than the interior of the ship that we'll see in a bit. We've basically got 2 artists on it, and we kind of chop the ship up into different parts that they can work on. And we're just going through and making sure that everything that needs to fit in the ship is going to fit in the ship.
And it's worth noting that this is a landmark
Take
ship
your time.
for Star Citizen. This is
Take your time, Ben.
one of the biggest ships of its kind. It's got entirely new purposes with the shops and everything inside. It's pushing an alien race into a new size and scale that we've never done with any of the other.
I hope so the idea of this is as a marketplace, right? People can come and buy things from inside your ship. You'll buy it. I'm assuming you stock the ship yourself. Maybe you have to hire NPCs to run the shops. I don't know. And then people can come and buy. I hope it needs to make sense though, because otherwise no one's going to come to buy from you, right? You need to be able to have things that other places don't. Or maybe it's you take your Caterpillar or whatever trading ship you have, you buy a bunch of stuff when it's cheap, like really cheap, and then you bring it to your ship, and then when the prices go up, you can sell it for less than what you can buy it for in other places, but you can still make a profit, you know what I mean? So I don't know how it's going to work, but let's continue watching.
Ships outside of Squadron 42, there is a lot to this ship. So with that, let's jump on in and start with the exterior.
So we've got the entire front with its hidden weapons that come out from there for the pilot control. It's dual docking collars, one on either side. It's wings with the new animation designs for them, for how they're actually going to
beautiful
deploy. As you can see, there's a lot of detailing on the wing section, a very elaborate and
I love it.
almost elegant
I love it.
Because at the end of the day, this is something they use as a trademark to show how wealthy they are and well they're doing as a trader.
That's a lot of detail, even for grey box phase.
Yeah, it's a new art style. We've done the Defender obviously, but for the UK team, it's a kind of new art style, and also the Defender is vastly smaller in terms of its size. There's our normal kind of approach to how we kind of layer in the details.
So that's the cockpit right there.
A bit of kind of alteration, and we've had to kind of think about how we're going to bring in.
Look at that cockpit. Looks like there's about 4 seats in there.
Some of those smaller scale elements to give a better sense of size and scale, because when you zoom out from this ship, you still want it to feel huge, and it deserves to feel huge. It is absolutely monstrous.
Yeah, it does.
So I think we've had to spend a bit more time working out how we're going to add detail to it. There's still a lot to be done. There's still a lot of the finer details.
Take your time,
because that does impact in how we model the ship, how we make the ship. So yeah, it's been a fun challenge for the artist so far.
I understand there was a recent change to the animations.
Yep, I'll have to go get in.
Oh.
They were very quick.
Oh, the animation is nowhere near final. It was just to make sure we got it in.
I think it's a fair disclaimer for this.
It looks
absolutely
sick.
no part of what you're seeing today.
Yep.
It's fine.
I was saying, I remember seeing the Play Blast in Max, and they were a little bit felt a bit weightier and a bit sleeker than that. But yeah, there is some kind of subtle movement where panels open up.
It's very small
allow
detail. You know what I mean?
Like the rest of the
like it's a big detail.
And as with everything we do, we make sure
it doesn't go out that
there's
much.
Not space magic going on. Things actually kind of.
I assume that's just to fit in hangers and stuff.
They should. So yeah, it gives a few more challenges. But I think the end result is a much nicer kind of silhouette when you see this thing parked.
Let's move inside. Let's start with the bridge since we're already there.
Okay, so the interior of the ship, like I say, is the main. Like you're going to see now, is mainly in kind of.
Oh, it's high up.
The concept mesh gave us like a really good starting point. As always with concept meshes, we had to do a fair amount of kind of optimizations and remodeling to kind of get it to the point where we can get it into engine and kind of start walking around it.
That's a sick bridge.
The bridge is I'm trying not to say the same thing for every area. It's massive, and you can just
I like that.
Any area of the ship you go into, just know that in the back of my head I'm thinking it's huge. We've obviously got the kind of like the 4 control seats. Mark, do you want to talk through the different functionality stations? Yeah.
So, as ever, the Banu don't have captains. They're a very family communal sort of unit, so it didn't make sense to have a primary captain station for the bridge section. In reality, everything would be relatively even. So we have the pilot seat and control, which obviously with a ship this scale, it's very difficult to get a good view from the pilot seat, to get a good view of what's actually happening. So a lot of the animations need to be very alien so that you can get the pilot into a good position so they'd be able to see what they're doing. So we use a lot of Xi'an tech, which lift things up through gravity, so they get this fantastic view out the front so you can see where you're actually going. So you've got your primary pilot seat, then to the right of them you have your co-pilot seat, then 2 stations behind are for the large room.
It's co-pilot seat. I'm surprised it's not like the Banu Merchantman. They were saying how they don't really have the captain, so it's kind of even. I'm surprised it's not like the Banu Merchantman where you can go on either side to fly it. You know what I mean?
More turrets that the ship has for
Not the Banu
defense.
Defender, sorry.
So if you ever need it, people can quickly jump into these seats and get into the action to try and defend you from whatever's happening if it's coming up
Turrets.
behind or the sides. Obviously, if it's coming on front, the pilot has more than
Dude,
enough
look how
means to be
good
able
this
to deal
looks.
with it themselves.
And
It
if
is a
your
big
instinct
ship.
was to stop the YouTube video and go immediately to comments and say it's pronounced Shion, Mark, get a better hobby.
I'll say you'd be correct.
Directly behind the bridge where the actual operations occur, you have some basic features for if stuff goes wrong. So you have some suit lockers to put emergency suits in, because obviously they're not going to want to go around in their day-to-day lives wearing their spacesuit all the time. But if something goes wrong, they do want them to hand. So next to the actual escape pods, you have your suit lockers to quickly get suited and booted, and then be able to get into your escape pod and get out of there if you need
Can't
to.
wait
So
till the
you
escape
have one
pods
on either
work
side,
on these ships.
one for each of the actual crew that would be on the bridge, as well as a couple of extra, because leading a little further down, we actually have the more habitation side of the ship, but we'll get to that when we get there. Directly behind, we also have the entryway to get inside the main man turret.
This is kind of one of the rooms that we spent a bit of time kind of playing with in white box and making sure we.
Dude, this is sick, man. This is so cool. It reminds me of the X-Men when they go into that room.
Got it right. We really wanted this to kind of feel, like quite a moment walking into it.
Yeah, I love the gravity as well. Like how it's gravity lifted.
Even in gray box, this is quite a moment here.
Yeah, there was some really nice bits in the kind of concept where you had these kind of like these like lit walls, and we tried to kind of pull some of that into. And I think it's almost having that kind of moment of like solitude before you kind of get yoinked up into battle. So it's quite a lonely area of the ship. Everywhere else on the ship kind of feels like it's built for like Mark was saying, like the family. Whereas this is kind of very purposeful. You know what you're getting into as soon as you walk in that room.
And obviously the exterior shell there, when all said and done, would open up and reveal you to the outside.
Yeah, absolutely.
So an interesting thing about the turret, because it's probably something people are going to be curious about, is how it actually works, because there's no big arm there behind it or anything like that. Once again, it's using alien technology that's keeping it up in place, which is what the plinth is for behind it. And there's an air shield that will be going around the top of here, so that when you actually enter the turret, you're not venting the entirety of the room. Obviously, that does mean that people could try and sneak onto your ship, but while your turret's manned, that might not be the safest thing for them to do.
New video sneaking onto Banu Merchantman.
I love that Shion Fight of the Navigator.
And I love the fact, like, when it's alien ships, they can do whatever they want, right? They screw physics and all that crap. It's an alien ship. This is what happens.
Moving down from the actual bridge area, we then move into the sanctuary. So
that staircase just goes to the turret. Okay.
The Banu
Right
are
now.
known for being very multicultural when it comes to their religious beliefs. So
Dude, this ship is
they
incredible.
have a entire area dedicated to worship, to fortune, to hoping that things are going to go well for them, or that the next trade deal is going to be a good one. So this is sort of at the end of the tree of life, which is how the entire ship's built around.
Yeah, it's like
and it makes sense for it to be at the end of the tree, because it's where everything comes out from. So it was important to keep that feel that it runs through the root of the ship. Going off the side of the sanctuary area, we have the med bay, something that people are very curious about where it actually was. It's just off to the side, just behind the bridge, just near where
I feel like I could get in this ship now and know my way around it.
You have a primary medical care bed, which will do your day-to-day actual healing, and then you have recovery beds similar to the ones we have on the
Is that in
carrier.
water?
Now, rather than just being a bed, decided to try something a little different. It's now these pools of healing gel that you lie in just to recover from any significant operation.
It's such a cool ship.
Yeah, I think this was again an excuse to kind of just push the ship away from what we're used to seeing. So originally we had like the 3 beds lined up in here, and it was functional. It was it still looked good. It was just like, it'd be really nice if these if you had your operation and then you just sink down into that recovery pool, and
I am dripping with goo.
Yeah, exactly.
Secretly tucked behind the actual medical section is where the actual medical officer would work. So it's his main station, as well as storage supplies for whatever medical supplies that he needs. Obviously, at the moment, it's just the back of the bed, but it's where you do refills on the bed or anything else that you'd need to do. Obviously, the doors across the entire ship are very alien in appearance. So though they make sense, but at the same time, like,
How's it cool?
It was very important, like, going across this to make everything make sense to the human eye, but at the same time be so different. So you immediately recognize it as a door, but once it starts actually animating and doing something, it feels completely alien. And even doing the general design of the ship, it was important to keep that consistent, something that is easily recognizable, but also completely different to what people expect. Moving on from the shrine area,
I just realized you couldn't see that guy down there talking because my camera's in the way, so I'm sorry.
We move into the recreation and social habitation area. So you've got your food maker, along with areas to actually eat.
Sorry, I can see dry skin on my nose. I'm peeling a little bit.
As well as the actual social area, so people can sit around, talk, plan stuff out.
I think one of the things that we try to tackle here is obviously we have very strict metrics for our human characters, and the Banu as a race are generally a bit taller, a bit larger. So there's that kind of balance between making things work for both scales of character and making sure that we don't end up with let's say like the child in the scene. I remember we brought it up in one of the update meetings. And the consensus was, well, this is a Banu ship. And
big seats.
Whilst they support all the other races that we have in our universe, ultimately it's their ship, and so things should be made to their scale.
Directly off the
That's a nice
area,
detail.
we have a secondary control for the hangar section. So if someone needs to actually be allowed to enter into the hangar, you have a separate control room to allow you to open up the hangar doors to permit the additional ship to come in.
Like the Carrack.
Once again, it's standard doors, but the whole animation, all of it's very alien.
And obviously, when we get to kind of final art, we'll dress this up so there does look to be some functionality there, because we don't want it all to be space magic. It still needs to feel like there is kind of mechanisms there that are supporting these things lifting and
I mean, so far we've seen a lot of the ship, and it's massive, and this doesn't even include the marketplace yet. I want to see what that looks like.
Being able to kind of hover and float.
Coming off the habitation area, we have 2 staff lifts. So these ones would be specifically for the staff to allow them to move around the ship a lot easier. We'll come back to them later because there's a better point to show them, but they just give you more access. Just because of the size of the ship, we needed to have multiple ways to get up and down. Otherwise, if you want to get from one part to another, you'd have to run the entire length of the ship, go down the floor to run the entire length again. So we added multiple ways to move up and down between the ship. So at the rear here, we have the we have the crew-specific lift. This has access to all of the floors, unlike the customer lift. This is the passenger entrance area, so the lift will go to this floor for all of the passengers, which then gives them a little foyer area before they enter whatever floor they're on. We have the meeting area. So this is the conference room where important delegates would come to
the ship's massive.
Significant trade negotiations, rather than I'm going buying a power plant, I'm going to buy fuel. This is where serious conversations and serious negotiations go.
Yeah, this has got like a really nice view out over the like cargo hold as well, doesn't it?
Yep. To the side of the actual meeting and delegation room, we have the VIP suites. So obviously your VIP delegates are going to want something a bit nicer, a bit more special when it comes to where they're resting. So they have their own private chambers so that they can rest and relax and freshen up before they actually go do any significant meetings.
Great for role playing and stuff like that. Realistically, will it get used that much? Probably not. Kind of like the 890 jump, right? Unless the 890 jump, when you're starting to, haul passengers around the verse, maybe some passengers will use those rooms. That makes sense. So maybe this, I don't know.
And again, this sort of room highlights a lot of the, I guess, the shape language and the difficulties on the ship. Is that everything's curved, everything flows, and there is that kind of like real kind of like leading shapes that kind of like lead you through the ship, as opposed to what we're so used to on a lot of our human manufactured ships, whereas everything's hard and angled and flat. Really, the only thing in this ship.
All right, let's see the cargo hold.
So the negotiation table has one seat at the top for the actual mediator, which obviously would be a member of the crew, and then even number seats on either side for the delegates to have their discussions. From the actual meeting room, you get a fantastic view of the cargo hold, where all of your goods would actually be stored. As you can see, the amount of cargo that the ship holds.
Oh, I'm in heaven, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in heaven. This is a space trucker's dream right here. Oh, I can't wait.
Holds is colossal. And just the sheer volume of it gives you this cavernous, cathedral-like view of being stuck in the rafters of a warehouse worth of stock.
Yeah, it gives you a real sense of how tall the ship actually is. When we get to the market, you kind of get a glimpse at that, but it's not until you get into somewhere like this that spans the whole, or not even the whole height. You've got the hangar above the height of this.
Jesus, it's massive.
Well, we're not going to be able to go through every single
Don't you do it!
nook and cranny today. This is too big a ship.
Yes, we are.
Let's go to the market now and take a look at that.
So I think this is what a lot of the kind of customers are going to see when they first
it's a
walk
mall.
into the ship. It's this sort of like reveal of the market area. And what we tried to do in this area is kind of everywhere you walk into it,
I honestly thought it was going to feel more kind of like Levski, the Grand Barter, inside the ship. I thought it was going to be more like a market, but more of, like a street market versus a mall. I'm not mad at it, but that's just kind of what my impression was in my head. Which kind of, maybe it doesn't make sense, but that's just, I thought it would look more like the Grand Barter.
You're kind of walking through a small tunnel or quite a tight space, so that when you kind of do walk into it, it does then open up and you can see that sort of like that grandeur and that height of the ship. And this is only 2 out of, I think it's 5 or 6 floors at this point of the part of the ship you're in. But I think it's just a nice kind of like reveal of the overall kind of again, just repeating that size and that verticality.
Is that a turret on the roof? Do they literally have a turret on the ceiling just to make sure no one steals? Ain't stealing from my mall!
That we see in the other areas of the ship. I think we've already shown a lot of the concept art of this area.
That 100% looks like a weapon. No one is stealing outside of this thing. You will be shot.
But the idea here is that you've got this, hollow in the middle that will kind of, will allow
that is a weapon.
The traders to kind of show off some of their items that might not fit in the shops or might be, too valuable to place in the shops. So yeah, it's a very exciting area of the ship, this part.
I love it.
Okay, and the last area we want to show you today is kind of the area that we spent a little bit more time on. It's a little bit further along. We tried to take some areas and push their visuals, so we've got a good understanding of how much work's involved and what the kind of like the final ship is actually going to look like, because it is such a large ship and there's going to be a lot of people ultimately.
What the hell is this? It looks like a remember like the Roman baths. Everyone's just in there all naked and some people are in the water. Maybe I've watched too many TV shows.
Really working on it. I think it's good to have that kind of key area that you can kind of refer to as this is what the merchantman's all about. And whilst each area of the ship will have its own feel, will have its own kind of style.
It's like a bloody cruise ship, isn't it, really? It's like a cruise ship. It's got a mall on it. It's got like a spa. It's got beautiful rooms. Is that what they're going for? Is it like a bloody 890 jump just with a tray? What is this? I love it. I love it a lot.
And in its own forms,
it's like a cruise ship.
I think this is a good indication of the kind of elegance. And if you imagine this,
it's not like a cruise ship. It's a bad analogy.
This is the crew area, and the guest area is going to be a level above this. I think it gives you a good idea of what we're aiming for.
The other thing is with the Banu, they're very communal in how they actually live their lives. So it didn't make sense to have separate quarters or separate captain's quarters, because that's just not how they live. And getting the social pit for them to be able to sit around and talk and relax and socialize.
So is that not water?
It was an important thing to make sure that we got in.
I thought it was water with like mist coming out of it. Or is it literally just a place you sit and look inwards? I don't know.
The space needed to feel fine and elegant, but also homely.
And that's pretty much where we're up to with the Banu Merchantman at the moment. This is kind of as hot off the press as it comes.
So these are more concept art, obviously. Look at the room in there. We could bloody put a Carrack in there as storage. This is insane. It's insane. I love it.
There's a lot of areas of the ship we've not shown yet. We're really happy with the progress we've made so far, but at the moment we are kind of at that
turret room.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sick too. What is the bloody freaking... What are they called? Jellyfish? It's a jellyfish,
We're
okay?
really happy.
But the turret room up here, that was sick. I loved that. I mean, this whole... Look at the lights. I can't wait.
With the progress we've made so far, but at the moment we are kind of at that point where we've got a skeleton crew just kind of working out everything that we need to get done to deliver the ship. When time permits, we'll be able to...
Take your time with it, though, guys. Don't rush it. Take your time.
Ramp it up and bring on more of the team to kind of get through the amount of work that's involved. Super excited with where it's up to. I think it's going to be one of those the kind of stand.
That's cool. So you can literally sell things from here. You have people come in and be like, I want to buy 15 units. How much are you going to sell them for? Like barter a little bit, you know?
And out one of those hallmark ships that kind of defines what Star Citizen is. It shows that there's more to our universe than single-seater fighters and the likes.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not... It's no surprise. I'm not a bounty hunter. I don't do a lot of FPS. Not FPS, but like, you know... dogfighting combat. I do enjoy FPS missions and stuff, but I love this side of it. I love trading. I love the idea of this marketplace, building like an empire on something. This is the side to it I like. The business side versus, you know, just like dogfighting and stuff. I love dogfighting. I'm just not that good at it, and I don't enjoy it that much either.
So what did we learn this week? Well, she may not look like much just yet.
She does.
Still has a long journey ahead of her. But if the Banu Defender before her is any indication, and given its sheer size and scale, the Banu Merchantman seems like it's going to shape up to be a landmark ship for Star Citizen when all is said and done.
Oh, hell yeah.
And as part of Alien Week, there are also these rad new paints available.
Dude, these paints are sick. Thank you, Vert sent me one for the Nox. It's my colors. It's my channel colors, man. Look at my logo. But this is sick. Thanks, Vert. Literally just seconds before I started recording this video, he sent one over. But, I mean, these are
ships that you can
sick.
see here. So check those out.
Look at that. Look at it.
Looking sweet as all heck. Is something you're interested in. For Inside Star Citizen, I'm Jared Huckabee. We're still here on the 8th floor of the Manchester Goods Yard building, the 2nd floor of the upcoming new UK office, and this is where I'm told CR's office is going to be when he visits.
Disco Lando was here.
Also this weekend was the first International Bar Citizen Weekend. So here's some imagery from the gatherings near studios around the world.
That's pretty cool.
And don't forget to let us know on social where your events.
So this is the Santa Monica one. I could have gone to this theoretically, but I don't know. I mean, I missed it, obviously. It's pretty far away. It's not that far away. Maybe next time.
Are being held at, as we're going to be sending folks to select locations throughout the remainder of this year. We'll see you all next week.
What the hell was that all about? I saw that he did change that to his picture. Let's make sure I'm not missing anything here at the end now. Oh my god, guys, that was a lot of information, and it was fantastic. I am very excited for that ship, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are, especially the space truckers out there. Wow, it was massive. It definitely put it into scale when you could see like the hangar with all the cargo with just masses and masses of cargo in there. Like it's going to be so much fun. The trading thing was a little different than I thought it would be. It looked more like a mall. I thought it would look more like the Grand Barter, but I guess the ship is so sleek and modern and new that wouldn't really fit into the aesthetic of the ship. I mean, it's cool. It is like a float. It is. The reason I said cruise ship is because, you know, the cruise ship has, you know, the malls inside of them and all the accommodations and stuff this had, but clearly it's not. It's got the massive, you know, cargo space. You're a trading ship first and foremost. People, when they come to trade with you, they have a nice place to stay. It's going to be incredibly interesting, especially, you know, if it does work out and you can get people to come on board and buy stuff from you, obviously it's going to be real people. I don't think NPCs will come by. Maybe they will. But how are you going to... I mean, it has that turret in the mall. It looked like a turret. But how are you going to... I feel like it's going to be an easy target for pirates, right? It's going to have to be a crewed ship. You can't fly this thing around by yourself. For security reasons, if anything else. But it's going to be an easy target for pirates to come on board and pretend that they're shopping, right? They can easily come on board and then hold you for ransom and, you know, demand money or guns or cargo. So that's going to be an interesting thing. We're going to have it fully crewed whenever we have meetings on board the ship. We'll have to have at least one armed person for each person that comes on board, literally with the gun pointed at them the whole time. I don't think that's very nice. But your guests aren't going to want to sit there with a gun pointed at their head. But at least have them stand behind a little bit, you know, up against the wall with their guns, just to make sure nothing goes wrong, and follow them around the ship, you know what I mean? Because I feel like pirates could easily come on board pretending they're trying to do trades and then just kill you. So it's definitely going to have to be a fully staffed ship. But it looks sick. It's massive. I cannot wait for it. I hope they take their time with it, though. I don't want them to rush this ship. Just get it right. I love the aesthetic of it. I love everything they showed. I think that the turret in the middle was sick. That room was... all of it! Sorry, I got blurry. Am I blurry still? No. All of it was sick. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What was your favorite part? And are you excited for it? Do you own it? It's now gone up to $600. Are you going to buy it with real money? Do you regret not buying it when it was like $300? Or are you just going to buy it in-game? I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on that in the comment section down below. And what you want for this ship. What is your goal? Because everyone's going to have their own imagination of what they ideally want to use this ship for. Obviously, it's a trade-in vessel, right? But like, how would you like to use it? Utilize it, I guess I should say. Tomorrow we have a video going up. It's the first one. Well, it's the Space Truckers video. Just talking a little bit more in-depth of the new cargo and how the cargo is going to work and stuff like that. That's going to be tomorrow. So I'll see you guys then. But guys... that was amazing. Thank you for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I was going to say weekend, but it's only Thursday. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Bye.